Bronxdale residents want the New York City Housing Authority to implement some type of program to ensure that dangerous sex offenders aren't living next door to them. Reporting from Soundview, Jason Frazer, News 12 The Bronx. Started out as small potholes are now large soup holes, according to some residents that we spoke with. They just want the city to fix it and fix it fast. Reporting from East Flatbush, Jason Frazer, News 12 Brooklyn. Man, I like the tie. I need to borrow the whole shebang.
You know what I'm saying, man? Man, you know, real players, man, we work hard on our look, man. All the way to the flow, though. The Gators, we don't stop. It don't stop. You got to have your Gators on. You got to have the texture. It's been something we've been doing for years, man. Just understand, man. It's very hood.
Because I have a day later on next week. So let's get it serious a little bit.
The problem is if I dress you, you got to keep the look up.
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all.
All over the city and right here in the Bronx reacted quickly once the verdict was announced. News 12's Jason Frazer went to the Fordham area where people are speaking out.
Upon first hearing the news about the Sean Bell case, many of the residents that we spoke with were outraged about the verdict.
You know, it's shocking, but it's not shocking because, you know, this type of thing happens all the time out here. You know, we've seen this happen a few years ago with the previous cases, and it's just, I mean, you could say it's justice, but it's not justice. To me, it's not.
I'm very disappointed in the judgment. The fact is that, you know, just because they think you have a weapon gives them the right to, you know, use that kind of excessive force.
Despite their feelings on the Sean Bell case, many of the residents that we spoke with say they expect something like this to happen again. Now, coming up in a later newscast, we'll have more on how local Bronx residents feel about the Sean Bell verdict. Reporting from Fordham, Jason Frazer, News 12 The Bronx. Councilman Eric Julia says a level 3 sex offender lives somewhere in these Bronxdale projects close to where kids play basketball and handball. According to a new preliminary study released by Councilman Julia's office, almost 112 sex offenders live in New York City public housing. Almost a quarter of those offenders live throughout the Bronx. Patricia Diaz has a son and lives in these Bronxdale projects, and upon hearing the news about the study, she is concerned about her child's safety.
And I understand that sex offenders, you know, also have the right to some sort of housing, but to put them in an environment where there are a lot of children, it's alarming.
Janet Gerardo is also a resident of these Bronxdale projects. She has concerns about the well-being of her children, but does have some advice for other parents.
For those parents that allow their children to be in the hallways, then I think they should, you know, think about twice about having them playing around in the hallway. But that's something that I don't. You have to, as a parent, you have to be responsible and protect your children at all costs.
Local Bronxdale residents want the New York City Housing Authority to implement some type of program to ensure that dangerous sex offenders aren't living next door to them. Reporting from Soundview, Jason Frazer, News 12 The Bronx. Barbers and customers at the Phase 1 barbershop on Westchester Avenue were disappointed after learning about the verdict in the Sean Bell case. Jerry Timmons, who owns this shop, says he was so disappointed with the ruling, he had to stop cutting hair.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought it was unfair and unjust. I mean, you know, somebody lost their lives and they left a kid behind, you know, very, very bad.
George Penn, who is also a barber, was also saddened by the court's ruling.
Anytime any man, any citizen of this state can get shot 50 times and there's nothing happens after that, you know, it's a travesty.
Efron Marcano says he is frustrated with a string of high-profile shootings. He believes the police are largely to blame.
You know, it is excessive. 50 shots, one cop shot 30 times. They're trained to shoot to kill, not to shoot to bring someone down. And I just think a lot of these guys are nervous.
All of the customers that we spoke with here said that they were disappointed about the Sean Bell case. Many of them expect that an incident like this will happen again. Reporting from Parkchester,